Welcome to Elements of Justice Part 2 reaction for Episode 2 of Case 3. I'm speaking in this very bombastic tone to make sure that the viewers, they're being retained. I will make a phone call to Pizza Hut if all of you people subscribe to me. This is so terrible. I'm so sorry. This is like the worst intro I've ever devised, conjured up in my life. God, what have I done with my life? What have I done so far? I've drinking water, eaten food, slept, watched YouTube. Man. God. Man, what a tone shift. It went from like super like just in your face to just depression. Because this is a depressed video. Anyway, scene 4, a juicy investigation.
I guess not.
Catch your breath later, Phoenix. We need to get started. Ms. Spitfire, were Rainbow Dash and Streamline assigned to the same building?
I hope so.
Well, they're in the same flight team. So yeah, they're in the same room too.
I see.
A room.
So which first? You've got the barracks inside, as well as the reservist locker room.
The locker room sounds promising. Let's head there.
It's always the damn locker room.
Here you go. I doubt you'll find anything, though. As you can see, we run a pretty tight ship.
I'll say, this place is cleaner than my office has ever been.
Well, it is a locker room, so I like it would be that dirty.
Is that some sort of storage room? Over there, to the left.
Yeah, it's unlocked, so you can have a look around if you want.
Well, it's not as if I came here to investigate the bathroom.
I did. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
You guys don't sue me.
Indeed.
Ooh, that's new.
First time we're investigating together, huh?
That's right, yes. Any investigative methods that I can expect you to employ?
Well, I used to just rummage around whatever was in front of me. But lately, I've taken on a more advanced approach. Looking at things from
more
angles,
advanced
that sort of thing.
approach to looking around. Man's like, instead of looking at the water bottle, it's just like, yes, look at the angles, look at the structure. What exactly about this water bottle conveys some sort of hidden meaning that will get me closer to figuring out the answer to this mysterious case? You know? And I'm just like over here like, dude, it's a damn water bottle. It's half full. Maybe half empty. What do you want to do with it?
That's a very three-dimensional way of tackling an investigation. As for myself, I find it best to keep things of note etched in the forefront of my mind. Deciphering how things link up, how the pieces of the puzzle fit together, that's the key to investigating. Hopefully there's something in the storage room that can demonstrate that. Shall we?
Indeed, we shall.
This place is spotless, like everywhere else. Really?
There's water bottles
Clean
up there.
room makes for a disciplined cadet, I suppose.
Please pick up the water bottle, please.
Now that I look at
Make
it,
my bit
there
come
is
true.
one thing that's not like the rest. Look, that locker's just been left open.
What's in the locker? Is it a water
Which
bottle?
one? Who's earned themselves extra laps next training session?
Funny.
Well, it's the victim's locker.
Huh, well, I guess Streamline will
See?
be running
Your name's
extra
right
laps in
there.
hell.
Now that means we should...
Yeah, let's check inside the locker.
Or heaven, I don't know.
Yes, let's.
Why are there 2 juice boxes?
It's just a couple
And why
of juice
are they
boxes.
grape juice
Grape
boxes?
flavor, apparently. All of them are the same. At least Streamline's got good taste.
Nah.
are they the
Apple
only thing in
juice
here?
or like fruit punch, those are better than grape juice.
Not as identical as they seemed. Look, different sets of numbers.
Yeah, you might want to zoom in.
1935145-4-0-4.
Couldn't fit the numbers
And
on there.
1935145-409. Shipment numbers, maybe.
They're
I'd say
relatively
so.
close, I think.
Not
my
an
God, whoa, whoa.
amazing find, at
That
least on the
noise.
surface. But the
Squeak.
different shipment numbers, that feels like a detail I'd best keep in mind.
Ooh, bit of
Captain
animation
Spitfire,
there. You're like,
what can
"Woo."
you tell us about these juice boxes?
Oh, those? Yeah, Streamline's always drinking them. Rainbow Dash too, now that I think about it.
Huh.
They're the only ones who do, really.
Nobody else?
That would suggest that they would be connected by that and therefore be very good friends. I mean, you ever just bond, do some cheers over a couple juice boxes? It's fun.
Yeah, but I guess it makes sense it
I'm not
hasn't
crazy.
really caught
They're
on.
crazy.
I mean, grape flavored? Yuck!
I mean,
Might as
grape
well
flavor's
drink out
not
of the
that bad, but it's,
I'll try
it's
not
not
to take
great.
that personally.
When did they start drinking?
Streamline
Approximately
always has
12
some after
p.m.
every
in the
training
afternoon.
session, but Rainbow Dash only recently started drinking it.
Odd, given how much Rainbow clearly dislikes Streamline. Why would she emulate her drinking habits? What about where the juice boxes come from?
Dunno, somewhere off base. Rainbow would know, or Streamline, I'd imagine.
I suppose I could ask either of them later, assuming there is a later. I'd like for Rainbow Dash's locker to be opened, if that's alright.
Normally, I'd say no, since every Wonderbolt
Oh
has
yeah,
rights to their
Streamline
own
isn't
privacy,
dead because she was only
but
poisoned.
since you're defending her,
More juice
Juice.
boxes.
A lot of it, actually. Rainbow's really gotten hooked on this stuff, huh?
Do you see it though, Mr. Wright?
See.
Man, this locker has some personality.
Right there,
I like that.
on the bottom of the juice box on its back. Look at the numbers.
1935.
Oh, same day.
409.
Oh.
Hey, that's the same shipment code as one of the juice boxes inside Streamline's locker, isn't it?
That it is.
Okay, wait. So Rainbow Dash drank a juice box, with the same shipment number as the juice box that was in Streamline's locker. So they both came on like the same day, probably, or were ordered the same day. So like, there are some mental gymnastics that you would have to go through here, but I believe that's kind of evidence to support that Rainbow Dash did not poison Streamline. There are some mental gymnastics, sure, but you can do it.
Let me check something, to be sure. The rest of the carton shares the same shipment code. Interesting.
Quite peculiar. Got the same
That
squeaking
clears
noise.
up one thing we've encountered so far.
I know that face. What have you figured out, Sonata?
This.
Ooh, I like this new thingy, Bob.
It's hardly a revelation, but since 2 juice boxes between these 2 lockers share the same shipment code, we can say that they probably belong to Rainbow Dash.
Well, yeah. Is there more? Oh, I see.
But why? If they belong to Rainbow, what are they doing in the other locker?
It's
The juice boxes are
weird, I'll give you
friends.
that.
Definitely something to take note of.
you guys done?
We are, yes. A lot sooner than I would have liked, to be perfectly honest.
Check
I
the
said
other
you wouldn't
lockers.
find much.
Let's hope the barracks are a different story.
New scene name? Nah. Oh, a juicy invest. Oh, I get it. I see what you guys did there. I get what you're laying down.
Pretty cramped, don't you think?
We prefer the term cozy, actually.
Or sorry.
I like how Rainbow Dash has her cutie mark just
I take
plastic.
it that's Ms.
Ah,
Dash's bed then?
I
Right
love
there?
the personality there, man.
How many times have I told her to lose the personal sheets? Anyway, I doubt you'll find anything that'll help you. We're pretty strict, and the barracks are no exception.
Given how we just found something that surprised you, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, well, technically, the sheets aren't contraband or anything.
Let her
itself.
keep it.
Do not poke the bugbear.
What about Streamline's bed? Where's that?
It's right here.
Nothing.
Aww.
Told ya. I've been cracking down on the reservists for ages now. Surprise inspections, looking around when they aren't here, stuff like that.
Ah,
What is it?
the empty bed next to Rainbow's. Look. Doesn't this
Oh,
section
uh-oh,
here
there's
seem
a lump.
odd?
It definitely looks a little uneven.
Just wear and tear. The reservists don't mind. They'd sleep on the floor after what we put them through.
Wear and tear? I'm not so sure about that. There you have it. Not
Wear and
exactly
tear.
what comes to mind when you think wear and tear.
I mean, it did tear,
How can you
and they
even
did
see
wear it.
something like that?
I have an eye for detail, especially odd details that most ponies would miss. It's certainly
So what's in the
compact,
mattress?
and it doesn't strike me as an ordinary rip either. I wonder, could it have been used to store something?
Well, check it. Just stick your hoof in the hole. It's not that difficult.
Captain Spitfire, I couldn't help but notice your reaction to us finding this tear. Or rather, lack thereof. You seemed more surprised by my keen eyesight than anything else.
Well, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, you see.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty common. Not now, obviously, but back in the day. New recruits would hide contraband inside their beds. They figured it'd be the only place the higher-ups wouldn't look.
I mean, makes
I,
sense.
did it myself once, when I was a recruit. Hid some chocolate in the bed underneath the pillow.
What kind of chocolate?
It went about as well as you'd expect. I woke up with the underside of my pillow covered in it.
You'd think you'd be smart enough to put it somewhere out of the way at the very least.
Anyway, that's why if a reservist wanted to hide anything, they'd probably put it in the bed itself.
I see. I wonder who made this makeshift hiding place, though.
Well, the bed is next to Rainbow's too, after all.
You better not
Who
be saying what
sleeps
I
next
think
to
you're saying.
Rainbow?
Mr. Wright, where is this coming from? You're not seriously suggesting.
It's not a baseless suggestion, Sonata. Back in the detention center, after you
He
finished
finished grilling.
you said something, and it made Cyclops appear.
Yeah, back when back when we were in the detention center, but you were Why is it so funny to me? Also, I could not speak English there. Jeez, man. Oh my god. Man, literally grilling her up, putting her on the grill, cooking her up like a sausage, man. Like a well-done burger, man. The choice of words for this scene. God, I love that.
Around her.
I'm not quite sure what that
Oliver
means,
Cyclops.
but I'll trust that it's probably significant.
Oh, right. Sorry. I mean, I could tell that Rainbow was hiding something from you, basically. It was when she was talking about why she was arrested. Right when she said, just a case of me being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
All right. But why are you bringing it up?
Well, I was just thinking. Her arrest. Maybe it has something to do with this tear in some way.
I'm not sure, but thank you, Mr. Wright. I'll keep this in mind.
9. What a great movie.
I swear,
9.
you defense attorneys hone in on the smallest of things.
It comes with the job. Can we check out Rainbow?
I could breathe. In Phoenix Wright would be like, that's evidence. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down.
Bed too?
Go right ahead.
Nothing.
Nothing. As with Streamlines,
Called
the
it.
only real thing of note is the empty bed and that tear. But we don't know who made it.
It could be unrelated, but I have a feeling that'd be too good to be true.
Regardless, I think we're about done here.
Alright, I'm gonna spit it out. Good
Captain
investigation.
Spitfire,
Yeah?
while we didn't exactly find a lot of evidence, our investigation certainly shows there is more to the Wonderbolt Academy than meets the eye. But I'd like to know what exactly happened to Streamline. We know very little about the actual incident itself.
I figured I'd wait for you to finish. Here, I have a copy of the incident report. Let me explain, though. The reservists were all taking part in a mandatory training session. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay,
Then
okay.
all of a sudden, Streamline just collapses out of nowhere.
Aw.
She passed out?
Shucks.
Not immediately.
Then what?
Well, on-site medical personnel rushed over to her. That's when they noticed. Sorry, I just want to get this right. Yeah, they said Streamline presented with multiple symptoms. These were extreme levels of perspiration, a dangerously high heart rate, lightheadedness followed by vomiting, and an overwhelming impression of anxiety.
Oh, geez,
These
that does not
symptoms only
sound
began
good.
to stop once Streamline fully lost consciousness.
That sounds terrible.
A lot going on all at once.
Oh, man.
So that's the suspected poisoning then.
Yeah.
It seems a
Here,
lot more
you
than
might as well hold
poisoning.
on to this.
Dot.
What's this? It says Streamline was apparently murmuring something right before she passed out.
Ooh, what was
Streamline
it?
was heard weakly repeating the words, "Stay, so sorry," up until the point of losing consciousness.
It's always so vague. Why can't you just give us full sentences?
No idea. Your guess is as good as mine. You want to know what I think, though? I think that Streamline was hallucinating.
Hallucinating?
Maybe with
Yeah,
anxiety.
Sounds like she thought some pony was attacking her or something.
That's quite the severe reaction. What happened after Streamline passed out?
The medical
She
staff
passed
immediately
out.
had her transported to Cloudsdale General Hospital. It was pretty rough rushing her out like that. She's still there now, under the Royal Guard surveillance. Hopefully she bounces back from this.
Bounce back from poisoning?
Well, the hospital said they ran a tox report, but it came back negative. So
Oh.
they don't know what caused this really. It might be something less serious than what every pony thinks.
So it wasn't
Negative?
poison?
But Rainbow was so certain they accused her of poisoning Streamline.
Yeah.
Really? Well, maybe this was all just a big misunderstanding.
No.
All it really means is
she's
that they can't tell
been
what caused
arrested.
Streamline's collapse. Nothing else at this stage. Before I forget, did anything else of note happen at the Academy recently? It can be anything.
Anything?
Yes. It doesn't matter if it seems unrelated. I'd like to know.
Well, there was something else that happened. Something I was gonna get to before you arrived. No idea how it all happened, but I've only just started investigating. You want to
It
come
was
with?
me.
Yes, please.
Lead the way.
Alright, what's the scene title? What's the scene title? Hold on. February, 11:30 a.m. Wonderbolt Academy. A landing strip. Alright. Clouded Optimism. Got with the spicy title there. Interesting. Clouded Optimism. Oh.
What happened
Guys,
here?
I'm not feeling very
The
optimistic
landing
about
strip
this.
is where we practice our takeoffs and landings. It's also part of our obstacle course training.
Pardon me, but has it been used lately?
Yeah, it looks like a tornado tore through here.
How on Equestria did you know?
Wait, seriously? Like an actual tornado?
Like the one Lightning
Can't
does.
exactly make up
created.
something like that, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, but it's just a turn of phrase.
Captain Spitfire, I think you'd better explain what happened.
Right. Well, it wasn't a freak accident, I can tell you that. The tornado appeared during a standard tour of the Wonderbolt Academy.
Hold on. You give tours? I thought this was a military installation.
Well, we like
For
to
the
make
most
big
part, yeah,
bucks.
but we still offer tours in special circumstances, such as for applicants and their families. On
For the
occasion, we
money.
offer them as a reward for, say, a competition, as in yesterday's tour.
I still can't get over the fact that a tornado actually appeared.
It's
I
not
mean,
really a surprise.
Tornadoes
Make them
appear all the time in your real world.
Absolutely. Always in accordance with the proper procedures. Rainwater doesn't make itself, you know.
I'm not a Pegasus, so forgive my ignorance. But how exactly would you make a tornado?
It would depend on what size of a tornado you
running,
want to
I mean
make.
flying.
In theory, if your wing power is strong enough, you could generate one all by yourself.
In
It
theory.
wouldn't last very long, though. And you wouldn't have a lot of control over it. That's why Pegasi usually work in teams to create them.
This tornado, how big was it?
From what I understand, it was large. Large enough to completely wreck the landing strip.
So it couldn't have
Because
been
it
made
did.
by one pony then.
I didn't say that, Mr. Wright.
Oh.
Huh? But something that large.
It'd be difficult to make, yeah. But you have to remember where we are. Wonderbolt Academy.
Yeah.
We have some of the
but
best flyers in all of Equestria.
I don't
Any
even think
one
the
of them
best
could have
flyers
the
in
wing
Equestria
power
could
to
do
generate a
that.
tornado on their own.
That does make an alarming amount of sense. But are you sure it couldn't have been some pony who'd wandered onto Academy grounds?
It's possible. But honestly, not as likely as some hotshot trainee thinking it's a good idea.
That's happened before?
More than I'd like to admit. Some trainees think that showboating their talents gets them a first-class ticket into the Wonderbolts.
Just like Trixie.
Nothing could be further from the truth, of
Better
course.
believe
And it's
that
not
I
always a
Trixie
tornado.
must
Sometimes
be.
these hotheads will throw in thunderclouds, lightning jars, and cloud-generating equipment into the mix. Once, we had a nasty incident where a cadet thought she'd do everything she could to get ahead of the competition,
And she ended up drinking through a straw.
including sabotaging the flight routine
And a
of the
full
other
body
crews,
winged
putting herself
hoop
ahead
catch
while
drinking through
endangering
a
several
straw.
spectators. I can tell you right off the bat, we don't tolerate that kind of behavior here.
What ends up happening to recruits who behave like that?
Nothing I can say in front of a pair of legal advocates.
That's one line of questioning I'm happy to let slide. I'm surprised nothing's been cleaned up by now. When did all of this happen?
Funny you should ask.
5
It
minutes
happened
ago.
on the same day of Streamline's collapse.
It's related.
Before you two arrived, I was nursing a couple suspicions of my own regarding this whole incident.
What are these suspicions?
We hadn't scheduled any obstacle course exercises while the tour was going on. Last thing I needed was someone crashing into civilians. So because of that, my best guess is that this was a prank.
I'm sorry. This might have been a prank?
It's just a prank, bro.
Any of the recruits could have wanted to spook the ponies on that tour group. Then they'd swoop in and save them.
God,
It's
you guys
typical
remember
glory
when
hog
pranks
behavior.
weren't
I know
life-threatening?
competition can really bring out the worst in ponies, but that's just...
That's going too far. There's a difference between pushing yourself as hard as you can and being reckless.
Rainbow Dash taught you that one. Yeah, on that one episode. Yeah.
And if being reckless ends up hurting some pony, then you're no Wonderbolt at that point.
Lightning Dust.
Who was hurt?
One of
Me.
ours. A
Emotionally.
Wonderbolt named Fleetfoot.
Fleetfoot.
Another was a filly in the tour group. Kid named Sky High.
Oh, man.
I had the first responders write up a report. Here's a copy.
Tornado report added to the court record.
When I find the pony who did this,
Spitfire,
they're
this
gonna-
can't just be a coincidence. Something that catastrophic happening on the same day as Streamline's collapse?
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
You were? Why?
Look, as a captain, you notice things. You can make connections between two flyers and see how together they'd probably make an awesome team. It carries over to when two events occur
Lead
at the
pony
same
and
time.
wing pony.
You notice the connection. You can't fail to notice it. So I agree. This is far from just a coincidence. I can't imagine this much going wrong on the same day without some sort of link.
Did the police find anything to support that?
No, of course they didn't.
Nope. Which just makes me even more frustrated.
I'm always
That's
frustrated.
why I wanted to bring you two over
That's why I'm always shouting at
You
the clouds.
wanted to bring us here?
Hey, I read the papers. I heard what that detective Private Eye did.
No,
He
Private Eye. I
sounds
miss
like a
Private
decent
Eye.
guy, so for him to go that far, I mean, look at it this way. I'm the captain of the Wonderbolts, but I also represent the Wonderbolts. If I act on my own, there's gonna be fallout for all of us. Same with Private Eye. Maybe he thought he was doing the right thing, but it's made trusting the police difficult.
And since we're not the police, since
That's a
we're
good
not ponies
point.
of
That's, like,
authority,
fair
You guys
commentary.
are my
It's pretty
best
good
chance of
commentary.
reliably figuring something out. And sometimes medals, titles, positions, and conflicting
I
personal
don't really think
motives
of
get
it
in the way
that way.
of that.
on that we can at least agree. After the amount of evidence tampering I saw, I'd be hesitant to let any pony in authority near a crime scene.
Don't worry, Captain Spitfire.
No, actually, you know what? I actually really like that, like, because you don't really think about it, but when you have one person step out of line in a group, like a well-renowned, reputable group, you end up not trusting the whole entire group now because of that one person. The one person kind of spoiled, the one bad apple spoils the bunch, you know? You don't really think of it that way, but yeah, like, Private Eye kind of made trusting the police difficult because of what he did, you know? And if Spitfire does something like that, well, then trusting the Wonderbolts would be difficult, you know? Find that interesting.
Fire. You can trust us to find out what really happened that day.
I better be able to. Otherwise, it's a one-way ticket back to Ponyville, you get me?
It's a one-way ticket
Yes,
to
ma'am.
a full-body wicked
Anyway,
hoof
you two
cast
take a look
drinking
around.
through a
Keep watching
straw.
in the air. If any pony tries to interrupt, I'll steer them clear.
And the rainbow stopped animated. It stopped animating.
Anything seem off there?
You mean beyond the glare I was getting the whole time?
I'm serious. Did she say anything blatantly false or untrue?
don't
Did your
think
magic
so.
stone detect anything?
I'm not a lie detector, Sonata, and neither is my Makatama. We can still be tricked.
Sorry. I wasn't trying to imply anything.
To be honest, I'm more curious about what you think of her.
I think she's great. I love
Your special
Spitfire.
talent is getting a good read on ponies, right? Does she seem like some pony we can trust? I'm sure we can go off that just
I
fine.
think we can trust her. I think she's completely fine.
My talent doesn't really work like that. I'm not beyond being deceived either.
All right.
Same,
I'll
but
grant
you
that.
know.
When I
Hey.
saw you back in Spitfire's office, you knew what could really reach her. You knew she wouldn't sit back while Rainbow was in trouble. Give yourself some credit, Sonata. When you sense you need to do something, you do it.
I'm glad to see you haven't lost your touch for speeches. Then, I think Captain Spitfire is
I
someone
need to be
we
more
can
like
trust.
Sonata.
She cares about the ponies under her watch.
That's the impression I got too. Feels nice being on the same page, huh? You want to write that down in your notebook?
If that was a joke, don't quit your day job, Mr. Wright. Now,
I feel like
let's
that's
see
like
what we
the
can
fourth
find
time they've insulted
boss.
Wright's jokes in this series.
Only
Probably
I have
like the
the same
10th
optimism
time.
you do, Phoenix.
Optimism.
But each step we take reminds me that we're running out of time. The way Spitfire was acting earlier in her office, I can't help but feel we're digging into something deep.
Considering that this scene is called Clouded Optimism, I don't think things are gonna go like well. This case, I think things might go pretty bad.
I just hope we're not digging ourselves into a pit with no escape.
Stop making me scared of foreshadowing. Oh shoot, Lawkeeper Equity, 12 p.m., February 21st, Canterlot, Equity's office.
It's not often you ask a favor of
Wait,
me.
what's the scene called? A lonely Lawkeeper.
Why is that?
Two main reasons.
Oh, Filio.
You know that I won't mix business with pleasure.
Yet you insist on deriving satisfaction from your work?
Of course I insist. If I were not satisfied with it, I could not do it day in and day out. But two, I know that the few I ask of you, you tend to grant, or at least consider. The latter is what I'm hoping from you, incidentally, for I have several I must ask.
Several favors? Questions?
That is not what your letter said when you were setting up this social call, and on such short notice, I might add.
Well,
You know
what
me.
do you do?
Spontaneity is the spice of life, and I am, if nothing else, a master chef.
She's smiling? That's a weird sight. Oh, that's a really weird. Anyway, what I was about to say, before she rudely interrupted me with her weird smile, you guys remember the show MasterChef? Because I watched, I watched some MasterChef, more specifically MasterChef Junior. There was a lot of MasterChef Junior that I watched, and honestly though, I would not like it. I watched it because my mom would watch it, but today you would never catch me watching MasterChef Junior unless it was like for nostalgic trip purposes. I just would not watch MasterChef Junior. I have some good memories of it, like specifically like the child would like win a challenge or something, and they would go up the stairs, to this like little place where he gets like gummy bears and ice creams and all that sort of stuff. I thought that was pretty cool, And I find it funny whenever Gordon Ramsay just starts being like super mean and just yells at the children. Like, why did they make Gordon Ramsay be a part of the kid show? The kid culinary cooking show. Like, that's just hilarious. That's a hilarious thought to me, I think it was one of the better cooking shows, though. Best cooking show, honestly, though, Restaurant Impossible. Because Restaurant Impossible actually seems like a show that has a lot of heart to it. And actually cares about what they're doing, Because I feel like with a lot of cooking shows, it's just the same kind of format, same kind of editing, same kind of feeling, just copy and pasted. There's not that much effort put into it. But with Restaurant Impossible, it feels like its own separate, unique thing that, exhibits the personality of its host while also doing, like a lot of cool things, for people around the world. Like, Restaurant Impossible is just a nice, cool little show. It is awesome, I respect it so much.
Very well, Detective. Let's hear these favors of yours.
Lockkeeper Equity, do you have a crush?
A mutual associate wrote to me, hoping I could speak to you on his behalf. It seems he's been trying to get in touch with you all week, yet you haven't answered any of his messages.
Mutual associate. You're aware of what he's done?
I am.
Then both you and he know exactly why I've chosen to ignore him.
Believe me, no pony is more disappointed in him than I. That said, his letter struck a chord with me. He genuinely wants to do right by his friend. I can understand.
Take notes, people. Take notes.
That trial was concluded, Detective. I would have nothing to do with issues of custody.
I thought you'd say something like that, which is why, before I came here, I wrote back saying not to expect a reply.
Then why did you bother to ask?
The nature of that case.
You've turned a page.
What Turning Page did and how things turned out. Well, I thought it might resonate. Now then, to my second request. A certain Miss Trucy Wright would like to be the co-counsel of Mr. Apollo Justice for the upcoming Manhattan trial.
Ms.
Granted.
Trucy Wright. Phoenix Wright's daughter, yes?
The very
Grant
same.
it, please.
Surely you can see the absurdity of such a request.
It's not that
It's more sensible
absurd.
to ask a dragon to perform slam poetry in a coffee shop.
Slam poetry. A poetry slam is a competitive art event in which poets perform spoken word poetry before a live audience and a panel of judges. While formats can vary, slams are often loud and lively, with audience participation, cheering, and dramatic delivery. Roses are red!
Stranger things have happened.
She is but a child. And I have received no request from Twilight Sparkle to provide a badge to this young girl. The impudence is astonishing.
Well, as you say, she is a child. Would you hold a caterpillar accountable for not yet knowing how to fly?
Bam!
You know I cannot grant this request. We have certain procedures for a reason, and I think it's reasonable of me to want them respected. But, if you would, instruct Ms. Wright that she'll need to send an official letter of request my way.
I shall be sure to do so, then.
One more favor left, I take it?
And only 3. It's not several, that's only
This
3.
is a rather extraordinary favor, even for you. And I mean that in every sense of the word. You're aware of its confidentiality?
But of course.
And you are aware that, as a member of the High Council, you don't need my permission to view it. You can access it as much as you'd like.
The thought had indeed crossed my mind.
Then tell me, why
See,
do
this
you
is why I
ask?
didn't trust Filio.
I must be honest. I do not ask this for my sake, but on Mr. Justice's behalf. The information in that file could help him investigate Mr. Overall Concept's murder.
Yes, please.
The case
yes.
is foolproof. Even if that buffoon, Prince Blueblood, were to prosecute, Ms. Rarity's conviction is almost guaranteed.
So it would seem.
It always
Answer
would
me
seem.
this. Why
but it
should I
never
give the
is.
defense this information at all? Why should I tip the
He's a
scales
Apollo.
in their favor, or in any
it to
side's
him.
favor, after all? That is not the job of the lawkeeper detective. It never has been.
I'll give you ice
Is
cream.
that so? Or have you forgotten? While you've stood here in your lonely, austere office, your predecessor, your mentor.
Your mentor, Celestia?
I'm not asking you to tip the scale in anyone's favor.
What if Celestia's the
Except, I
mentor?
suppose, in
That would
favor
be
of fairness
interesting.
itself. Giving that information to Mr. Justice will even the playing field. It will equalize power. Our differences and experiences aside, I'm sure we can both agree that it is also a duty of the lawkeeper.
Celestia's probably not the mentor.
Very well.
Whoever the mentor is certainly had a emotional connection to Equity here.
Thank you.
While we are on the subject of harsh truths, you should know. You were summoned as a key witness in the Wonderbolt Academy trial in Cloudsdale. So, I imagine you won't be able to deliver this file until afterwards.
Damn it!
Oh, fiddle-hooves and horse apples. The bureaucrats and their penchant for bad timing.
I know, right?
You needn't fret. I doubt you'll be there long. The prosecution is quite resolved, it seems.
Fine then. I shall make my way to the courtroom post-haste.
I could never forget him.
Him. It's a him.
Nor I. History makes that hard for us. The world loves a fallen hero more than a vanquished villain, after all.
History
Well,
can say what it wants,
not
but
in
rarely
fiction
does
all
it
the time.
remember anything correctly. No matter what it thinks of him, I'll always remember who he truly was. Always!
Oh, whoa,
I know
okay.
you will, Equity. Now
I
then,
love this new side
I
of
must be
emotion
off.
from
Please
Equity.
excuse me.
Of course. Take care, Fighter.
Man, who is this him? Ugh. It never. Hold on, before you start speaking of Equity, it never. Oh, it's always so painful not knowing answers in this freaking series, man. It's always so painful. Oh, you just gotta wait till more answers come. Oh. Oh. Wait. What does it say? What is it? To... I'm twisting my whole head around. Hold on. To Equity from Lawkeeper A. Ugh. It's not faded. Lawkeeper A. Okay. Also, what is ost? It's what does that mean? So many words I don't know in this episode. I'm sorry. Severe, strict in matter, attitude, or appearance. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, to be continued. Ooh, is that Cloud Guy or is that Filio? That's probably Filio. Oh. Alright. After credits? We did see these credits last episode. Okay, no, there weren't any after credits. Well, that was episode 2, case 3-2. Yeah. Seriously, are you guys just gonna release another case 3-3, heck, in 3 weeks later? Are you guys gonna do that? Because, heck, I'm down. I really want to know who the new prosecutor is, you know? I really think it's gonna be Trixie, but, you know. Sure, I guess. I don't really have much to say about this episode. It was like, it was just kind of new information. Still quality writing, you know, animation, all the good stuff all around. Still just quality, you know. Just, yeah. It's just more elements of justice, which is not a bad thing. Far, far from being a bad thing. Just what we come to expect so far. Huh. I don't have a funny bit for this outro, and I'm not gonna do that usual thing where I'm just like, oh guys, I'm gonna just stop speaking for 5 seconds and try to think of a funny way to end this video. So, you know, I'm going back to simpler times and just simply ending the video.